What's up, team, and welcome to the Kaisa Show. Today, we're going to be doing a bit of a random question hot fire. Is that what they call it?
I've never heard that term, but we can use hot fire. Today is going to be all about a hot fire Q&A.
No, what do they call it?
Quick fire.
Quick fire. I was like, round fire, hot
Quick
fire.
fire. Isn't that Top
Quick
Chef?
feet. Yeah, I don't know.
Quick feed? Where are we going?
I don't know. Team, today we're just, Mike is going to throw a bunch of random questions at me today, and we're going to see where it goes.
Yeah, it's kind of like, we like to break it up every once in a while. Like not, ultimately, like we always say, we're trying to figure out what you all want to listen to.
Yeah.
We also like doing it, but it's a collaboration. So we're trying to mix it up, and it's kind of a fun way to just, ask some random questions and see where things go.
Okay. But before we dive into that, we want to talk about what's buzzing. Bzz. I thought we were going to say that together.
Oh.
I thought you were getting my cue.
Here we go.
All right. Before we dive into that, we want to see what's buzzing. There you go.
Nice.
All right.
Oh, I want to get a soundboard so bad where I can hit little.
Thank goodness you don't have one. No.
And then you tell a story and it'll be like, wah, wah, wah,
yeah.
wah.
No, because that would happen a lot. So don't do that.
Okay.
All right. So are you buzzing on anything right now?
You buzz first.
Okay. So I've been doing a little bit more traveling lately. And when I travel, I get really excited to dive into a TV show. And I have been binging on Project Runway.
Yeah. I think you've already talked about this.
Oh my gosh, did I double buzz?
But hey, if you're double buzzing, it's worth going in. So I don't know. I know we've talked about it, but it might not have been a buzz. So let's hit it again.
Project Runway. It used to be with Heidi Klum and Tim Gunn. And so when they left, I wrote the show off. Like, I'm not interested in what's going to happen because how can anything be as good as Heidi Klum? Well, actually, how could anything be as good as Tim Gunn? Christian Siriano and now I forget the name of the model. They're doing a great job. I love the show. It's been in 3 seasons now, and I'm so bummed I watched all 3 too fast.
Did you watch, I swear we've had this conversation before, did you watch the Making the Cut? You didn't like it?
No. Do I need it? Really? Okay, then maybe I will.
Did you just watch an episode or did you go through?
No, I think I watched a few episodes. Okay. My rule is 3 episodes before I can really air anything out.
I'm not here to push you.
Yeah. The designers on Project Runway are insanely talented. Yeah. And I love clothes. So it's just so fun to see their creativity and what they make and what they create.
Have you ever thought about being a designer?
Oh, no. I mean, a shoe designer, but no. I'm the type of person it's less about all the ideas. I know what I don't like, and then I can put things together based on things that are already created. But the way in which they come up with stuff, and maybe they already had designs in the back of their mind or something because they've designed so much, I am in awe of their creativity. It is so crazy.
And how fast. That blows my mind.
Yeah. So that's my buzz.
Okay. I mean, I'm also a fan of Project Runway.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But I was a fan of Making the Cut. I actually liked it. The thing I liked about Making the Cut is they were so unapologetic with how over the top it was. The songs that they used for as it kind of the B-roll of them getting ready. The song is you're getting ready for the day of life. Everything's on the nose of exactly what's going on.
Okay, I'm gonna revisit that then.
And then the shows, their the runway shows that they do at the end, they are
extravagant.
It's so extravagant.
Okay,
and,
I'm gonna revisit.
In the letterbox on the TV comes in, so it looks like film. They go a wider. It's a whole thing. I love that they just didn't. They were going all in.
I mean, if they left Project Runway to go do something, I'm sure it needed to be quote unquote better.
Yeah,
but
it's good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm also buzzing on a TV show.
Oh.
I also have done a little traveling, more in the state that we live in, a little bit more staycation. But I started watching Formula One. Racing series. It's just literally called Formula One on Netflix.
Is it a reality show?
Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah, because it follows these drivers. I never knew. I've learned so much, and so these numbers could be off. So don't hold me to it. But there's I think there's 15 total racing companies or teams, I should say. Didn't know that. And then there's only 2 drivers for each company or each team. And so like, okay, this is like a world thing, a global thing.
Yeah, because for the one stat I did know, more people watch Formula One than like that. It was like double the amount that tuned into the Super Bowl or something. It's so much bigger than we over here, I guess, comprehend.
But I just thought that was so fascinating because the total number of racers in this entire global league is like 25 or whatever. You know, so you're like, wow, that is like, think of elite. And then a lot of them are like 18 and like 22. It's just mind blowing.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy. And then how fast, I mean, this is like super general knowledge, but like it still blows me away how fast they change tires. Like,
what is it?
3 seconds. They drive in the pit. It's automatically like, I think there's just a jack like built in or whatever. They raise the car. There's a person, like 2 people on each tire that goes zzz, zzz, like, and then they put on a new tire zzz, zzz, and it goes. It's out of control.
So now why are they going so fast that they haven't been able to develop a tire that can like a durable enough tire to handle
I mean,
that?
I don't know. All I know is like the tires wear. And then they start losing traction, so they have to go and get new tires.
But within a race, how many times they change a tire?
You know, it doesn't like go super into the like rules and stuff. It's definitely more of the stories of the racers and just kind of the teams and their histories. But yeah, I'm probably gonna say
you
something
don't have all
wrong
the facts
here. I'm gonna say at least around 20-30 laps is kind of what I think. Because I know,
literally just made that up.
No. It's like, because I remember them being like, you have 8 laps to go, 7 laps to go. So it has to be, and they had already been racing. So like, let's call it 15 to 30. And anyone out there that knows better than me, I apologize.
Call them out.
But it's just a fascinating show. And then it's cool. Like, they're going so fast.
But Formula One isn't just around a track. Isn't part of Formula One that sometimes you might be racing in the streets? Like, aren't there
so
like...
they're closed. They're really cool tracks that are in like this. Well, not all of them are in the streets. Some of them are like literally they close off and kind of build a track.
Yeah.
And then some of them are just like, here's a raceway that they race at. But the other cool thing is that... Oh no, I just lost how many like crazy accidents there are. Oh. Because in the beginning, when they all are together, like, and they take off, it is like just dogfight to get the best position because it's not like a super wide track. So usually in that first like takeoff, there's these wild accidents and like strangely and thankfully, like there have been a couple people who have died, RIP, but like it's not like a crazy, I think the cars are very protected and they have a good system to get people out. But some of the crashes, I was like, oh my God, that person's dead. And then it's like the person's totally unscathed.
Oh my gosh. And how, do they ever talk about how fast they get up?
I want to say it's around 200 miles an hour.
Oh gosh. I love speed. So
I seriously think you would love the show because they do a lot of like in-car footage. Oh. And it's just like, wah! You know, like you could tell they're going so fast and they're turning. I mean, these cars are so low to the ground that any tiny bump, sparks are flying because the frame is hitting the cement and they're going so fast.
I would watch a show like this and then I would think I was a Formula One.
You don't need the show to think you're Formula One. You already do.
Formula One.
Give it a shot.
Okay.
I think you'd like it. The drivers are also definitely a personality.
Oh, good.
It seems pretty consistent.
Oh.
A wee bit cocky type.
Oh.
It just feels like all of them are a certain type.
They are the best of the best. So.
And they all come from like go-karts. You know, like they grew up like racing go-karts. It's a whole thing. I just like never knew any of this really existed. Okay. So it was just kind of like, wow.
Mainly European. Like, is Lewis Hamilton...
I think he's UK.
Okay.
That's kind of
he's not even US. Wow, Kaisa.
Yeah, no, I don't know anything. He's British, I believe, and then there's like Australian. A lot of like, now that I'm thinking of it, I don't know if there was any American. There's an American team
because in America we do NASCAR, but NASCAR is like quote unquote far below Formula One, right? Like it's like not at the same level.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I know NASCAR's big.
Okay, we literally know nothing about what we're talking about.
But all we know is that I'm buzzing on this show.
Good.
If you haven't checked it out, I recommend checking it out. There's 3 seasons. I'm on season 2.
What's it on?
Netflix.
All right.
And shout out to my buddy Tyler, who a year ago told me about the show. And up until just like last month or this month, I finally was like, I'm going to watch that show. And I watched it and I texted him. I was like, hey, thanks for recommending that show a year ago. So.
I know. I feel like that happens with shows, though. It does. So, okay. Project Runway, making the cut, and Formula One.
That's our buzz.
All of our shows.
Okay.
All right.
To the important stuff.
Oh. Well, I just kind of got nervous.
What did you call it? Not a quick. What did you call it? Quick feet. Let's call it quick feet with Kaisa.
Quick feet is a move that you do.
No, I know it. Quick.
I know, but I was trying to think like fire, and I was trying to be quick on my feet, and I was failing. You know when something happens in slow motion, and it was I knew I wasn't gonna get it. Yeah. So okay, quick fire.
I just like that you explained what quick feet.
Sorry,
it's like the most straightforward,
obvious thing.
You know, so quick feet is when you move your feet quickly.
No. Sorry, I meant to say quick fire is when you move your feet quickly. Like quick fire is a movement that you do. Like it's quick fire.
It's not just called quick feet?
No, it's like quick fire.
Interesting. I guess I'm just coming off a Top Chef where they do quick fire challenges. And I'm just curious if maybe that's had an influence on you.
I've not watched Top Chef, so no.
It's a good show too.
Nor am I a Top Chef.
That'll be my next buzz.
All right.
Here we go. We're heading right into it. Some of these questions are going to have longer answers than others. And we're just going to see where this goes. So,
and these are all random, just so everybody knows. And I'm panicking right now. I have sweaty, clammy palms because last time we did one of these, oh my goodness.
Those were a little, okay. So also Cube, who works with us, formulated this list today.
Okay.
So I haven't really gone through this too much.
Oh, so it's going to be like.
So I'm kind of quick firing off of this. The last episode that I did, I got all those questions. So, okay, so we're going to start off. Who is your dream collab with? What would your dream collab? Could be anything.
Oh, Nike.
That's it? Okay.
That's it?
I just kind of feel like
my dream collab on a pair of sneakers?
So it would be a pair of shoes.
I guess that sounds a little superficial, but I have dreamed about that moment since I was so young. It just is, for me, I'm like, is it a person that I'm supposed to be collaborating with? Because
that's where I thought you were going to go. So that just fell.
That felt
like I thought you were going to say like a nonprofit with Oprah. But you went Nike shoes.
I totally failed that one. Oh my gosh. Well, I would love to collaborate with Oprah, but
on a pair of shoes.
Yeah, I guess when I think about that, I think about like actual goals and dreams and things that I think are maybe possibly realistic.
Okay.
And that.
Okay, let's go this way. Let's dive into the Nike shoes. What would have you thought about this? What would it be?
No, I haven't even, I think about it all the time, but I haven't thought about it in detail. I just think if ever I got the moment to collaborate with the Nike or the Jordan team on a pair of shoes, that was a colorway that I had, helped design. I don't want to redesign a pair of shoes. I just want to do a colorway. And I have no idea. I haven't thought any further into that. I just am trying to speak that into existence with thoughts about that all the time.
Okay. You know what I could see maybe is like the K, your little K logo.
Yeah.
Somehow being like a shoelace thing or like an emblem with a shoelace.
See, you already designing. Yeah, I wouldn't want to put that on there because not a lot of people would fuck with the K probably. So,
come on, if you were collabing, there clearly would be.
No, it's just I wouldn't even try to brand it. I would just want to do like a colorway that I thought was
subtle
fire.
collab.
Yeah.
What do they call those? Like when you're kind of not. Like when it's not known that you're part of the collab. I'm sure there's like a streetwear thing, where it's like, oh, did you hear that's actually a Kaisa collab?
Oh, no, it's pretty known. Like if so-and-so's collabing.
Okay.
Yeah, unless you're like an actual Nike designer doing. Okay. They don't put your name. Once you're underneath Nike's umbrella, they don't then put your name out there.
Okay. Is that a collab then?
But I would be collaborating.
Just on the design or okay.
Oh, it could be like Undefeated. Undefeated, the brand collaborates. Actually, Undefeated does put their logo on there. Undefeated's logo is a little bit more universal, but I guess the K could be universal. But anyways, long story short, would love to collaborate with Nike.
Do you have a dream collab with a person?
No. Sorry. I hate the question people always say, who do you admire? Who do you look up to or this and that?
Scratch that.
Yeah, sorry. No, because I don't really, when I think for me, I just I admire the team and more every day. I don't really idolize people that. So I don't, when they say that, I'm I don't really, there's nobody that I always know off the top of my head, this is my person. Because I just don't. I don't know, Serena Williams. Like, you know, there's
that sounds really convincing.
No, I'm just saying there's a few badass women that would be like so incredible to.
But you don't just see, like, for me, without even thinking, I just was asking myself, Jack Black. Like, I would want to go to Jack Black's house and just hang out with Jack Black for as long as I could. Like, make videos, laugh, watch him play the guitar. Like, he is like an uncle that I would want. You know what I mean? You kind of have a pretty amazing
have a cool
uncle.
A Jack Black as an uncle.
A Jack Black's an uncle. Anyways, that's just like,
Yeah, I don't know. My brain has never thought about that. And I always get that question of like, who do you idolize or who do you look up to or who do you want to meet? Or it's like just everyday people.
Yeah.
Like, there's not like.
What if we frame it? Who would you, if you could hang out with anybody? Because less of like you have to idolize them. Or who do you think would be the most fun to hang out with?
Oh, I don't get pressure under pressure in these moments. I black out in these moments.
Okay.
I mean, somebody who is gonna just rage and party.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
okay.
like that would be a great time.
Okay.
I don't know. I like. Why
like
do
Paris
I keep?
Hilton.
No, I keep thinking of like Drake, but I like don't really want to hang out with.
It's cool. You can let that out. Drake would probably be fun to hang out with.
I mean, it would
be part of the crew.
Yeah, it'd be a crazy good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just, if I was gonna like hang out with somebody, I would just want to hang out and have a good time because I'm not like, let me just sit there and pick your brain for 10 hours.
For sure. Okay, that was
probably a terrible answer.
On.
I'm gonna regret it in 5 minutes, but.
Okay, so if you could hang out with anybody, it would be Drake. Okay, next question.
It would not be Drake. Don't put that on my name. I literally said somebody like that, and for some reason I'm blacking out and I can't think of who else would be a good time.
Okay, so Drake, what sport would you want to learn to play that you never played? Do you have a sport that sounds fun?
Tennis.
Wow, see, that was conviction.
Yeah, I looked at tennis because my grandpa really liked tennis, so it would be like on the TV. And I always looked at tennis and just kind of didn't really understand it. You know, there's like love and like all these scoring. A few years ago, I got to go to the US Open. I was mesmerized by these athletes. It is one of the most badass looking sports. The way in which they move across the court, like insane. And I had like a moment of like, should I start playing tennis?
Yes.
Yes.
Have you ever played?
No.
Nothing, like nada.
So like hit a tennis ball 1 or 2 times, but no, never played.
So we should totally play tennis, and you should totally get tennis lessons. So I played with my wife a few times. Always ended in like fights. It wasn't good. But so then like you do when you're in your 20s or whatever, you're like, oh, hey, you want to get a couple of tennis rackets? Like, go play some of this. You kind of try new things. Then I went to play with my brother, who had a little bit of tennis experience, and I was like, oh yeah, you want to go play tennis on a Saturday? Sure. And the serving was out of control to where I literally was like, wait, the ball is already past me before I knew even how to react. And I like at that moment, I was like, oh, wow, tennis is incredible. Like,
it's one of those sports that you can't just watch on TV. You know what I mean? Like you have to either experience it or like for me, I was experiencing it in person watching it where you're like, all of those subtleties of things that happen get missed when you're just watching it because they make it look so easy until you're there.
Yeah.
And the ball is literally traveling, like 80 miles per hour past their face. And it was insane.
Yeah, it's like you have to know what your move is before they've even,
or by like their like subtle,
because you see it like when you go the wrong way. It's like kind of like a soccer, like a penalty kick. It's like I'm going this way, if they go the other way, it's game over. Like there's no way. But tennis, that's cool. You should, that's a very like approachable thing that you could, I feel like we should try that. We should film
1,000% agree
doing a tennis lesson.
Let's do it.
It'd be fun.
Okay, over the course of some time though, not just one lesson, because I am the most athletic person. Like basketball, I cannot get the ball in the hoop.
I could see that. I feel like you're one of the two-handed shooters.
I am. Yeah,
like
I am.
Where you do this.
I do. That's exactly how I shoot a basketball.
Like a swim stroke.
I mean, in grade school, I knew I was bad, and I just sat out. I just did other things.
You played soccer and like ran track.
I played ultimate frisbee.
Oh, that's a fun game.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, we're getting way off. That was good though. That was tennis.
Okay.
I liked it. Okay. If you weren't a trainer, what career path would you have taken?
Well, I thought I was going to be a social worker.
Oh, yeah,
I
that's right.
had no plans on being a trainer.
What did that look like to you, like when you were going to school and then like thinking of like what that world is like as a social worker?
So it didn't look like anything my undergrad. I mean, my degree is in sociology, but I really was just there to do track. And it wasn't until my senior year that I started falling in love with sociology, because obviously like when you get to do more intense classes, it's just better. And then I just have always wanted to work with people. I didn't know if it'd be working, you know, like in a women's shelter or what I would be doing, but I definitely wanted to work probably mainly with women, but I wanted to work with people.
Yeah.
And then for me, what it would have looked like was going back to school and getting my master's in sociology in order to become a social worker. And then that's when I decided not to go back and do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other dream ones that you thought of?
Yeah. Shoe designer. I mean, it's all the same. It's no surprising thing. Okay. 1,000% something in fashion and, you know, shoes. Or I always think like, this is going to be weird. I always think like a personal assistant to somebody. Like I'm kind of like a hustler in that way. So I think that always would have been fun, like in New York City and just like running around like crazy. I'm kind of like a task oriented person. So I think I would have been good at that. But, you know, probably I wouldn't have been able to listen or to have somebody tell me what to do for very long.
That wouldn't go very well.
Yeah, but like the hustle and bustle of something would have been so what I would have been drawn to.
Which is interesting because I think all three of those things you mentioned are kind of incorporated
in what I do.
What you do. Like
1,000%.
Social work, there's an aspect of like working with people. Helping people. Fashion, definitely. I mean, come on, current situation. What's the other one? Current situation.
An assistant.
No. The other like situation.
Oh, the full situation.
The full situation. There we go. And then an assistant. You're kind of like an assistant to yourself, and you boss other people.
And to everybody else.
Yeah.
No, I definitely. It was always interesting when people grew up having like, I want to do this, and this. I didn't. I wanted to be a professional athlete. Like nobody ever popped my bubble of like, honey, even if you're the best soccer player in the world, like you ain't about to really make money. Nobody ever did.
Yeah.
They let me dream until I came to the conclusion it was not reality.
What was that like? Or when did you realize that?
Well, I was aware when I wasn't going to D1 school. So you're kind of like over the course of a handful of years when you're in high school, your goal is then to get to a top tier college. But for me, when it got to that point and I was only good enough to go to a D2 college, you're not going to go kind of at that point in time, it's clear. But that's also why then my hope was like, okay, go over here and be a track athlete at a D1 college, because then I don't know, I was going to be a professional heptathlete. I don't know. I mean, a girl can dream. Yeah. And I believe in my dreams. Yeah. Clearly. But over the course of those years in college and being injured and this and that became more evident that wasn't the case.
Okay. Yeah, I always kind of wondered, like, when does that reality start setting in? It's like, hey, is this going to be like a thing?
I mean, if you're a national, especially with like women's soccer in the US, if you're a national player, you are nationally ranked when you are in middle school. Because there's Olympic development teams, you know. So like for me, I just got into soccer when I was in middle school. So I was like so far behind, but I just always dreamed, and there was nobody around me that ever popped my bubble. And that's what I was doing. And I was focused on that.
That's cool.
And I never once had a like, oh, I want to be a doctor. I want to be a dentist. Like never. That was no. Yeah. And I think I probably didn't have the words of being like, I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I think that was always a thing too. Like I've never enjoyed the 1 or 2 jobs that I had. Like I always wanted to do my own thing. I've always been a hustler.
Well, I think with like I think athletes are hustlers by nature, because it's like you do what it takes to get the job done. True. You know, and I think that's like a really good, it's where a lot of probably athletes are probably really good. Well, maybe, I don't know, business people like.
After, I think a lot of athletes do business after. Yeah.
I was just thinking like during, I think a lot of people go bankrupt, but that's from a whole different reason.
Yeah, that's from trusting the wrong people.
Exactly. Okay. Here we go. Oh, if you could choose a superpower, what would it be?
Oh, see, these are the ones where I feel like I'm going to give the worst answer, but I've always wanted to fly. And that's like the worst, like that's the most.
Why is it the worst?
It's just like a basic answer. But I used to be, you know, like maybe I was the only one.
Flying is basic?
Well, I don't know. I just feel like I should have came up with like something like, I want to have a superpower. I could like save the world, or, you know, I don't know. That just, I don't know.
You could probably do a lot of cool shit flying.
I used to always have these dreams. I have kind of a lot of the same dreams. I always had these dreams, and my dreams are very vivid, where I would run so fast I would start flying a little bit. And then, like I was like, got the taste of that when you're dreaming. And then I'm just like, I want to fly. I'm afraid of heights, but I want to fly. Okay.
Like,
also, these dreams were happening in middle school. Okay. This is not like, yeah. You looked at me like I was crazy.
I was just thinking like recurring dream. Like, what does that mean? Like, is it, I don't know.
Trying to escape this world. Yeah. They happened a lot in middle school.
That route at all. I was more thinking like taking a big step to like do something big. You're like, how do you escape this world?
Well, it was like in middle school.
Polarizing.
So I know.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We recently at a team meeting that you weren't at, actually, we talked about what animal would you be, and both Taylor and I were bald eagles because we could fly, live in the Northwest where it's like, things are pretty good, like fish, it's plentiful and lots of trees. So basic flight is not basic.
No, I guess not. Sometimes I think I should be a little bit more creative, but yeah.
No judgment here on the
I was
no judgment on the quick fire.
I'm a little judgy on myself. Okay,
let
it go. It's just a question, Kaisa.
Just a question.
Look, I'm like over here trying to nail a question.
Stop the podcast. Let me think about this.
Redo. Y'all are getting a real inside scoop of how my brain works.
Okay. We've kind of hit on this a little bit. So, dream car.
Oh. Have we hit on this?
Well, we were talking about cars.
Oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with cars. Rolls-Royce Wraith got discontinued though, so now I have to find a new one. Okay. That is by far and away my dream car. I want it.
Well, it
so
still
bad.
Exists. It's just
it
not
exists.
Made,
I'd be
so
getting. I'd have to go to Europe to get it because it's still in production over there. Or I'd buy a used one.
Yeah,
it's just so fire, and I'd black it all the way out, and it's amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
What other car? I mean, we're rolling here, and now I like talking about cars. Yeah. Because we're very polar opposites.
Yeah. Because you're more of like a function person, or like
I've had the same car for 11 years. Oh, yeah, no. I plan on keeping it for another 11 years. Like, the
thing is, there are certain things that just matter and have always mattered. There's nothing I can do about it. Like shoes and cars. I have dreamed about driving in nice cars my entire life, and I spend a lot of time in a car. And so I think people could say like, that's a crazy way to spend some of your money. But when I get in my car, like she reminds me why I work so damn hard, and I spend half of my day in her as I drive around. So I literally love my car, and I love cars.
No judgment.
Yeah. No, I know you're not judging, but
what's another car that you're like?
Well, it's funny.
Right
yeah.
Now?
So
I know you're in the market, right?
Yeah. We've been thinking, I've been thinking about what would be my next car. And I love my car right now. Okay, I'm just going to get superficial. I love my car right now. I drive a Jag XJ because not a lot of people drive it. And so like when you're on the street, especially in Seattle, people like you don't know what the car is. And I kind of like that. Yeah. So, and I mean, I would love a Range Rover, but everybody, drives a Range Rover.
I will say though, I don't know the models, but I saw a Range Rover when we were at Suncadia recently.
Yeah.
And it was dope.
Oh, it's fire.
But I was thinking like you never see an all blacked out one this style. I've never seen it.
All the time.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. All the time. I mean, maybe you could have been looking at maybe like more the sport one. Was it huge?
It was big, and it was just kind of, I mean, it's hard. It was orange, so it really stood out. But like,
oh, maybe it was a new Discovery. Did it look a little more kind of like rugged and outdoorsy?
It just looked. No, I would say it was almost more like a luxury SUV vibe. But it just, I don't know, something about it just looked different, and I was like, oh, like I wonder.
Yeah.
I'm not describing it well at all.
That's okay. No, there's only a few of them. So I know like all of them look amazing. But I don't know. That's so superficial. I just don't want something that everybody drives, but they do look amazing. Almost, I think I would only ever get a blacked out car. Okay. And they look amazing blacked out, or a G-Wagon looks nice blacked out. Yeah. But these are all like ridiculous. It's so funny because
it's like how to make the most unique car look the most subtle.
Yeah, exactly. That's me. Like how to loudly
be understated,
but calmly. Yeah, it's totally like how to loudly show up in an understated way.
Yeah.
But then I think like maybe if they change the body of my XJ next year, I might just do another one of that. I love it.
Just re-up.
Re-up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cars, superpowers.
My hands are literally clammy. I'm worried about these questions.
This is a good one. What's crazy is I just starred this and I totally don't remember reading it at all.
Okay.
This is a good one. If there was a fire in your house, what are 3 items you would grab? This makes me nervous. People aside.
I have no people in my house. Don't worry.
And no pets.
Just me.
Yeah,
no
just
pets.
you,
No people. Okay. I would grab a pair of shoes. I think I would grab 3 pairs of shoes.
Okay. Which ones?
I'm literally trying to think if I have anything very
as
sentimental.
valuable as those shoes.
Yeah. No, just okay. Let me think. Okay, I gotta get pressure under pressure right now. I'm going through my house. I'm going through like all the rooms in my house. I am oddly not super attached. As much as I love superficial things, I don't even know if I'd grab anything. I might just run out of the damn house.
That's kind of
grab my wallet and run.
That's
grab
a great
my wallet
answer.
and my keys.
That's a good answer. That means like you're not that attached.
I'm really not. As much as I love everything, like
Yeah.
I've actively practiced not being defined by the things, because I have been obsessively in love with material things, and so I feel like I've done a good job actively practicing that I'm not that attached to them anymore.
But now my other question then is, do you not have anything sentimental in your house?
No, I guess not really.
We should work on that.
I have a teddy bear from a long time ago, but what if that burned?
Let it burn!
Yeah, literally. And then like you don't have photographs anymore. So like, you know, because everything is digital.
You should change that too. All right, this is good. We can work on some stuff.
I don't have anything that's sentimental in my house.
Yeah, we got it. I think
That's a bit odd.
What? Just don't think it's odd. It's just something to maybe work towards, maybe not. But I think having, maybe that's like you talk about, like you're still always working on your house. And
yeah.
Maybe it's adding a little, like thinking about what sentimental things.
What do you have in your house that's sentimental?
Oh my God, a lot of photos. That's a big one.
Okay, so you grab a photo
album.
album.
A lot of photos. I think honestly, it's like my computer and hard drives. I have my like life's work over the last like 10 years on hard drives.
Yeah.
So if I could only choose 3, it'd probably be the most current 3.
Yeah.
Or the most current 1.
Yeah.
But that's a hard one, honestly.
Yeah.
Because that's like that hurts.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think anything material. It just like, I think there's this clown outfit that we put River in when he was a baby that absolutely, I don't know where it came from. I think it came from like a thrift store from his grandma or something. Yeah. And it was just like every time we put him in it, it melted he kind of looked like a beach ball.
Oh.
Just getting emotional. We have it somewhere. I would want that.
Okay. But also maybe you're just like more like emotionally advanced than me.
I didn't know what you were going to say there.
No, I'm just saying,
I'll
like,
take maybe
I'm just a little bit more shallow. I just like
live
don't
with a
have.
family. You're solo.
Yeah, solo dolo.
You just like materialistic things.
Yeah, I know. Because you were saying that, I was like,
oh
oh my God, wait. I would take like my Nike fur coat because you can't get that right now. Like there's like, it's all just like a few materialistic things.
Yeah, maybe we hang a couple pictures.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
But then I could my mind would say I could reprint those.
True.
Who cares?
We do a lot of Polaroids. That could be a fun thing for your house. You get guests over, you take quick Polaroid.
Yeah, I got to do.
Why am I trying to like convince you
I
to like
don't
do shit in
know.
your house? I don't know why I'm doing this.
I don't know. Like I feel like some of these questions are like I'm not very deep.
This quick fire.
Oh my gosh. I'm not very deep. I'm not sentimental. I don't admire people. What the fuck do I do?
Oh,
these are like, I gotta
next
go back
question.
to therapy.
Okay. Okay, we're not going to
no.
ask that one. Okay, let's go. We're going opposite ends. Pet peeves. Let's hit 3.
When people drive slow.
Okay.
In the fast lane.
I'm sorry.
Okay, this is a weird pet peeve because normally, like, you don't sit on a lot of toilet seats. I cannot stand warm toilet seats. Oh. Like if I'm in a house and like I didn't realize somebody just went to the bathroom and it's a warm toilet seat and then I sit down, oh my gosh.
You want in your mind you want to think that it's just
never touched.
Yeah. No one's ever used this before.
No one's ever used it. Absolutely.
It doesn't matter who. Like,
no, it doesn't matter
situation.
who. No. I just like warm toilet seats.
Yeah.
Ah.
I mean, I feel that, but like, there's certain people where I'm like, oh, it's comforting.
Oh my!
Like, oh,
just
baby, you warmed up the seat for
No.
me. I had no shock.
Oh, warm
But like,
toilet
if you're at
seats.
like a public restroom and you go
Well,
in,
if I'm in a public restroom, I'm not like sitting. I'm like, so
oh,
it's
you're
not
doing the squat hover.
Yeah, squat hover for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess I'm.
It just is a weird thing. It's always like, oh, I can't stand.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. It's just,
What are other pet peeves? I feel like I have so many I don't even know.
okay, but that was a quick one. I mean, warm toilet seat.
Yeah. What are other kind of like
Now,
pet-
what if you got a toilet seat warmer? Like, would that throw you off?
Yes.
Okay,
absolutely
that would
not.
just
No, because
okay.
what are those things that shoot water out?
Bidet.
A bidet.
Yeah.
And so shout out to my dad for hooking one up for me. Those are awesome. And he was like, okay, do you want me to hook the warm water up? I was like, no, like I don't want
that's just
anything
warm water.
I don't want anything. I don't
You like the cold water?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, shit.
Sorry, but my butt likes cold water. We're getting TMI.
That shit's freezing. Because we only have the cold water version. We just got one.
Yeah.
And it's like, why is the stream so sharp? Like, what the fuck?
It's cleaning you.
I guess, like, is there incisions happening though?
Yeah.
It's like I need stitches.
If you have not tried, clearly we could go on about these. If you have not tried a bidet, game changer.
Okay,
You just got it, you said.
it's been about a month and a half. I will say I'm not of the camp game changer because everybody we talk to about bidets, they're just like, oh, it's game changer, unbelievable. And it's like, okay, we got to get one. We got one, and both we were just like, all right, what's the system here? Because you still have to have a system.
Are you weirded out by it, or like
No. It's just like, does it fully like? Are you fully confident in the?
No, you have to like
hit it.
Yeah.
A little bit extra. Okay, now I got to ask you a question. Do you have a bum towel?
What's a bum towel?
Got hip to this. A bum towel is you have to have towels because of the splash. Because afterwards, your just butt is all wet. And if you use the
sounds
toilet
like
paper,
you don't have a good bidet.
oh,
You need an accurate. Okay, if
yeah,
people
yeah.
don't know what a bidet is, you hook it into your toilet, and when you turn it on after you're done going number 2, or you can you
can
clean both
But-
if you're a woman. But you basically like, or a man.
I mean, if you just want to wash up a little bit.
Oh, that's
but
true.
yes, to the point.
Anatomy lesson.
Yeah.
This is out of control.
This is terrible,
Okay.
but let's just
no,
keep
this
going.
is great. But so essentially, the bidet shoots such intense water that it cleans you. So like instead of having to wipe 5
But
times,
you're
whatever.
saying
Yeah.
that the stream doesn't affect the cheeks.
I'm saying it doesn't affect them enough that I need to towel them off after. No, I didn't even
Toilet
think
paper
about
or
that.
anything? You
no.
just literally, wow.
Yeah. Sounds like you need my bidet brand.
Interesting. Okay, well, the bum towel is a thing. So you have a rack, and it's just a quick little, just a wipe. Like, after you wash your face, you got a little water, and you just do a little
Yeah.
cheek
So,
pat.
but I'm not washing my whole butt with the
No,
bidet,
I know, but
and
it's
clearly,
back spray. Maybe we have a more intense jet,
long story short, get a bidet.
Okay, I don't even know how that happened. It was of pet peeves, warm toilet seats. Okay, there you go. Warm water, I would love warm water, but a warm seat, that I feel like you would just,
Oof.
you would be constant. You'd be
Yeah,
in
and I'm
constant
dramatic.
discomfort.
Yeah, constant discomfort. I'm
you'd
dramatic
run,
about things.
you'd scream, you'd go live on Instagram. Okay,
Let the people know.
okay. Oh, man. Let's look
The
here.
pressure is on.
I don't know. This one, I feel, we just went there. So, do you have a most embarrassing moment?
Well, I definitely do. It's just whether or not I
Whether
can
you're gonna
recall.
share it.
I would share. Okay. I black out things, so no, I literally have nothing to give you.
Okay. We'll chalk this one up as an embarrassing moment.
No, come on. There has to be times of like embarrassing moments.
Here's the thing we can do. You can always just catalog these, file these away.
No, but these are things that you ask me and then they haunt me that I like can't remember. but I have an actual terrible memory. So it's not that these things don't happen to me. It's not that I've ever like not had an embarrassing moment. It's that I don't remember them.
Okay.
I know. I'm sorry.
This one's kind of fun. Cute. Very cute. What's your favorite memory? What's your favorite Mike and Kaisa memory?
Oh. So many.
So many.
We have
one. It doesn't have to be, just, yeah.
I feel like my favorite memories of us are memories in which we've done our interviews, just because I think like those moments, it's very rare that I'm like so vulnerable. So like, and when you are vulnerable like that, then you like connect with people differently. And I feel like you are one of like very few people, like my therapist, you know what I mean? Like we've talked about things on that level. So I think those are my favorite. I mean, I think Behind the Smile, like that whole project was amazing. And also that was my most favorite because in order to tell that story, I have to trust you so much and then I get to let it go.
Yeah.
And like putting that story out into the world was like so powerful for me. So I have a lot of great memories with you.
I gotta say my most recent highlight was the C4 video shoot.
Oh yeah.
It was just because I think it was needed. Like we were both in, I wouldn't say like a creative slump, but like we just hadn't done something energizing in a while. And it was kind of guerrilla. Like we just sort of like went off to this place. And
it
just
was
like
beautiful out.
Yeah, the sun was out. It was just all the things. And I remember vividly like the excitement and just like the high to where when I think after I dropped you off, I felt like I had just like been on a 3-day hike or something.
Oh, I thought you were going to say a binger.
Yeah, well, similar feeling of just like, oh my God, I am so tired. And I was like, I'm on like the come down of a really big high. Yeah, we were really excited that day.
We were pumped.
That was fun. That was a good shoot.
We've had so many, because the thing is like, we work together, but work is life, like for me. So then all these moments that we get to go through are like still like life moments. You know, it's not like, oh, just what happens at work.
Yeah. And like our work moments are pretty epic.
Oh gosh,
like, we've had a lot of like epic work, which is like really, I'm really grateful for that.
We do.
I was just thinking last night, I was when I was filming the dance stuff, I was like, I'm so pumped on like what I do. Like you forget sometimes, and it's just moments where I'm like, I'm at this little dance studio in Snohomish, this little small town up north, where it's just like filming these girls like dancing, and like it was just such a cool experience. I was like, this is cool. Like,
and you're like, this is my job.
Yeah, I was like, I've carved out a cool little niche, you know?
Oh,
like,
I on the daily, I'm like, wait, hold on. This is my life. This is my job. Like I think those are really important like reminders, because we live a pretty damn good life in terms of like what we do.
Yes.
And mainly have fun.
Agreed. I'm just going to ask you because I read it and I've talked about it.
Oh, no.
If you could ask one question to the all-knowing being, what would it be?
Wait, this is so... I'm just going to say what first came to my mind. Do I ever meet someone? Oh my God. It's like the only thing I want to know. I don't want to know anything about my life because I would get obsessively like waiting for that moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, am I going to fucking fall in love again one day? Like, is that going to happen? But then I know you always say like all things lead back to letting everybody know that I'm single and open for love.
Here we go. DateKaisa.com.
I'm just being honest. That would be the one thing.
That's good.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. That's a good question.
That was a good question.
Yeah, that was, I like to just hit it more. That was your gut.
Oh, you're saying I answered it good?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
You just hit it quick.
Okay. Well, sometimes I black out. That's why I can't hit it quick.
That's cool. What's on? I don't know if we talked about what's on your bucket list. I don't think we have.
No.
Top 3 things. What do you want to do before you kick the bucket?
Oh gosh. They want to find love.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's definitely a clear one.
I want to go to the Olympics, the Summer Olympics,
as a
spectator.
Okay.
I want to watch track and field.
Where are they? Are they in the States next?
No, my literally bucket list since I was younger was going to Tokyo, which I had the ticket and we were doing. Yeah. And then COVID happened.
I just heard, sorry, I'm going off the rails here a little bit, but that like like cities don't want the Olympics like they used to. Like where it was like this big deal.
Yeah.
Where, you know, you would build all this infrastructure
Yeah.
to have all these people and to bring all this money. And like, so they're like awarding, like they've already awarded the next like 2 Olympic locations. And like, and I think because there was no real competition, so they just wanted to like take the people who, or the place.
Because
This
they
is,
cost more than they make now?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's just like their whole thing. It was on the Rich Roll podcast. They were talking about the Olympics, and they were talking about how it's just lost a lot of the luster.
I mean, the winter ones definitely. What
Yeah.
the all-time worst
Yeah.
rate? Yeah.
But you still want to go. I didn't mean that. It was just sort of Olympic
I guess I'm just
thinking.
like trying to think of things. I just always have wanted to go to the
Totally.
Olympics, Summer Olympics.
Yeah.
Actually, they're going to be in LA. I don't know if it's next year. It might be the not next year, but the Olympics after that. It might be at the end of 2020 something.
Okay.
I mean,
Love Olympics.
and travel. I just like, there's so many places in the world that I want to go to Tokyo. I want to go so many places in Europe. I just want to travel. When I think about my life, I'm like, I want to continue what I'm doing for work. I would love to, meet a partner to be able to go travel the world and continue what I'm doing for work. Like that is, if I got to the end of my day when I was going to kick the bucket and that's what I did, I think I would feel really like I lived a very full life.
Nice. I think there's something about age, at least for me with travel. Like, I don't think I appreciated travel when I traveled more, like in my 20s, because it was kind of just like find the good drinks, find the good food, find the spot. Now, like, I appreciate history and like what happened in this place, like how this place came to be. And it's such a funny moment because like I remember my dad took me to like the East Coast when I was in 5th grade, and we had to look at like Plymouth Rock and like all these like historical things. And I was like, who gives a shit? I want to go to Disney World. And now I already realize sometimes I'm with River and I'm like, hold on, bud, I'm reading about this tree. Like this thing's been here for like 1,000 years. I'm having a moment, and he's like, it's a tree. There's 1,000 of them, and like there's those little things. So I think now with travel, like even when we were in Cleellum, like I'm reading about, it's a really interesting history, and so I think now I'm going to Amsterdam in a little bit, and I'm starting to like learn about Amsterdam. I'm like, wow, this is really cool.
Yeah. I think when we were younger, a lot of it is vacation. I think there's a big difference between vacation and travel.
That's a good point.
I don't actually have much of an interest in vacation. There's a few times that it's like fun to just go take a break, but traveling, like I want to go to cities and places and countries and spend time. Like I think I really got that itch when we did Peru a few years ago, and we just wanted to spend time. It wasn't like we had to go to all these different cities. We just spent time in a city to just really understand how that city was and how the people worked and like what that culture was like. Because there's something about travel that just like helps to expand your world and understand like you are such a small part of this world. You know what I mean? And I think it does that so beautifully. So travel's always been at the top of my list.
Yeah. And there's other ways that things get done.
There's other priorities. When I was in Peru, I was like literally nothing mattered. I had a few hiking clothes in a backpack and only had a phone that worked on Wi-Fi and had the absolute best month of my life.
Yeah. When we lived in Costa Rica for like a month, it was like, I didn't realize it. Like we had not worn shoes. Like all we wore was like flip-flops. And so when we had to go back to the airport and like put on shoes, I was like, oh my God, my feet. Like, and I'm like, oh, all I've worn is like shorts, like sometimes a tank top and flip-flops for this last 5 weeks. Like, and it was really easy. I didn't buy anything on Amazon.
Yeah.
Like you'd start to drift from, it's kind of like you go into the flow of where that space is.
Yeah. It's a good kind of like, I don't know, it's a good reality check. And I think for me, vacation, okay, this is going to sound corny. I don't feel like I don't need a break from my life. Like I feel like I've set my life up finally in a way that I get a little stressed out and stuff sometimes, but I enjoy my life. So I'm not trying to like escape my life, but I would like to add to my life.
Oh, I was like, I was right there with you. I heard you say it. That was good.
Yeah.
Add to it. I don't need to escape. I need to add. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah. So I feel like, and I'm a partner person. I'm a teammate person. So like, then that's the other part of the bucket list is like, I mean, at some point in time, if I travel the world alone and that's what it is, so be it.
You always travel with friends and stuff too.
Yeah,
right?
but when you get to be my age, it's like a little bit fewer and far between that friends that can take as much time. Because I want to go to a place for like, a month at a time.
Yeah.
But it's part of the reason why I've been thinking lately, I think I would really love to be a bi-coastal person. I really think I would love to, expand myself and be kind of like East Coast and have a little bit of like East Coast, West Coast, month after month vibe. So that might help a little bit.
Don't do that too soon.
No, my goal is by 40.
Oh, okay.
4 years.
Cool. 4 years?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Oh, God.
I'm just trying to think of all the selfish reasons why I don't want you to do that yet.
No, 4 years. No, for me, the reason why, and who knows what will happen then, but it is so hard to have to be a single person in Seattle and to have a life where I want to meet more people.
Yeah.
And so whenever I travel for work and I'm out and about, I always go to these cities that are so alive, and it's so like, you go out and you meet people and people are friendly, and I just come back to Seattle and I'm like, as much as it's home, it's hard. Like Seattle just is like that. Seattle freeze is very real. So that was just kind of my thought process of like, it would be fun to have also a home in a different area that I felt more alive in sometimes.
And you're probably just more curious. When you're at home, you're not really as curious. You're kind of just in your thing. Like we met this guy in the sauna, which was hilarious. Like we were on vacation and, it was just Priya and I, and then this guy popped in. He's like, hey, how's it going? We're like, oh, good. And we're like, oh, a little sauna talk.
Yeah.
And we started chatting and he's like, oh yeah. He's like, I'm one of the real estate folks here. And we're like, oh, okay, cool. He's like, yeah. He's like, hey, you should email me sometime. I'll get you guys like a discount and you guys should eat at this place. And I was like, well, this is dope.
It's a good point.
And I think you're open to that when you're in that curious state, when you're not where you're at. Like, because that might be kind of like, oh, dude, I don't want to talk in the sauna. I'm here to do my thing. But we were in a different mode. So I think that's also...
Yeah. But Seattle, period, doesn't have a lot to do.
I agree.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like, when I think about something like... I guess this all happened because when I turned 36, I had this moment. We've talked about this, and I have these moments. I have these, like, midlife crisis moments all the time. But I just realized, like, I could live my entire life over again and only be 72. Like, that's a lot of time to go live life. And I'm somebody that doesn't necessarily want to get married and doesn't necessarily want to have kids. So it's not like I'm waiting for my life to start. So when I think about like, I have so much to do, all of a sudden I was like, I want to go explore the world.
Yeah.
I want to go live in a different place. I want to like feel alive in all these other areas. So, whatever. I might change that. But right now, goal is by 40.
Okay.
Yeah.
God, I have so much to... I was just listening to a podcast this morning. They're talking about living to 200 and how that like eventually, they think like we'll get there, and how you'll have like different families and different careers, because like, and I was just like, wow, I never thought of that. That's real. I mean, not that you have to, but like there's the potential to have like 3 or 4 careers or 3 or 4 families or whatever, it's like that's, or you could live for a long time, like kind of call a place home for many, many years, many different times. It's kind of a weird, we're so like, I think
I almost like can't fathom
I know.
that.
It's kind of weird. It feels like a sci-fi movie, which I mean, it kind of is, but I think eventually we'll probably get there.
I mean, science, technology.
We're all over the place here.
We are. We warned you all, though, coming into this, we would be.
Okay, don't ask most treasured memory in life because we don't have anything sentimental.
I would not be able to answer that question.
What is the most unexpected turn your life has taken?
Okay, well, I thought I was going to be married with children when I was like 23 years old. So then that was the first like unexpected. Oh, no. I thought I was going to be a professional athlete. That didn't happen. I thought I was going to get married and have like 4 or 5 children in my early 20s. That didn't happen. Thought I was going to be a trainer, then decided to go back to school and not have that as my career in the same sense that it was. My life is one unexpected turn after another. I've just learned how to like get in the car and enjoy the ride. Things are constantly happening in my life now that are completely unexpected, not planned, had no idea. And I've just learned to like a little bit more gracefully turn the corner.
Well put.
Okay.
That's like a life lesson right there.
Okay.
That's good. I mean, let's see. Let's do one more.
Okay,
Let's
okay.
do
I'm
one
ready.
more. Let's do
ready.
one more. Let's
I'm ready.
look.
My hands are less clammy now.
Okay, since we're on that, let's just go back. I want to make sure we really nail this in different formats and make sure that people can find this at many different places. So if we're describing your ideal man partner.
Oh my gosh.
Let's just call it out. Let's give
Is that a question that Q put on there?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
We are here for you.
Okay. I try not to be too picky.
Let's put it out.
So where I'm at right now, I think I'm just going to be honest about where I'm at right now. My ideal man has 3 kids or more.
Yep.
I definitely would love to be like a mother, but now I'm realizing like I'm not going to have 5 kids. So, I could be a great stepmom. He has like a life, like a, business or like things that are important to him because I have a lot going on. And so when, if you don't and you expect a lot out of me.
I'm imagining this movie right now where this man is like driving on the freeway and he's kind of like not like just got over his divorce, but like he's divorced and he has 3 kids and they're great and he's a great dad and he's hearing this podcast.
Yeah,
and
you're
he's
the
like,
one for me.
And he's having this moment. He's like pulls over, gets out of his car, and he's just like, he's going to Seattle. And he's walking
baby.
for some reason, for cinematic reasons, he's walking.
On. I mean, yeah, I've waited long enough. I think it might happen like that.
I like that you're like, I think a lot of people will be like, you think some super, like who's got to be rich and these kinds of things. The way you put it, it's very. I feel like it's very realistic. It's very. Yeah. It seems.
I mean, I've dated around enough where I'm like very clear. I can take care of myself. Like if I had to like financially take care of you and you had nothing but you gave in other ways, like there's like some interesting dynamics with relationships, but like I can take care of myself. I'm not like looking for that.
Yeah.
But confident and just kind of like funny and secure in yourself, it just always ends up being the thing. Like it's a never ending pattern. Could be about the men that I date, but also about me. Like I have a busy life. I am a big personality, and if you can't handle that, like I don't want to be diminished. So you just need to be able to have your thing. And then the added extra thing now is like kids. I like being around kids. I have a lot of nieces. I nannied. And I like being around kids. I just am not at the point that I'm going to have 5 kids. So
I think that opens up a lot more realistic though too, because at our age, it's like, if you're like, there's a good chance a lot of people out there are going to have kids,
totally.
Which is great. Yeah.
And I think I'd be a great stepmom. I also am not quite sure if somebody's like obsessively like wants to get married. I'm not quite sure I want to get married. Like, I don't know. I don't know what I want.
Okay.
In terms of that, in terms of wedding and stuff.
This is great. So we started the podcast as the Just Move podcast. It later, after about 3 episodes, it turned into the Kaisa show. I don't know what episode we're in now, but I feel like there's a good chance we're going to turn into Kaisa Finds Love.
The dating game.
Some sort of, it's naturally, we are here for the organic ride.
I feel like people are going to be so shocked. People probably have created their own stories of me, and sometimes when you have to Google certain things, one of the number one things somebody told me, friend or my sister, somebody told me, when you type in Kaisa, it's like single, or like it says something like that's a question that people like ask. Okay, I didn't mean that to sound like cocky that people like go, but like I think that is I never talk about that. So I think people are going to people might think I'm like married or something, and I just never bring my private life on. But
to me, I mean, when you said that, it's like, to me, I'm like, there's hope. Oh
my gosh, there's hope.
There's
hope. Someone out there for me.
There really is. But I think the thing to really take in is that you don't need anybody.
No, you're so annoying. I know I don't.
No, I know.
But you know what? Life gets real boring on your own.
Yeah.
When people say this, I'm like, I know I don't need anybody. I just want to do things with somebody. You know what I mean? It's like, I know I don't need. Okay.
I just love how this has happened multiple times where we end up talking about the love life, which is really fun. I love it.
Just an open book these days. I've been so closed for so long that now I'm like, Listen,
Let
this
it
is what it
open.
is. If you want to judge me, you're going to judge me. You know, you already have, you know, your preconceived notions of me. I'm either going to live up to them or I'm not. And there's nothing I can do.
And if you have 3 kids and you have a business and something you're into, then I would
And
suggest.
you're confident and funny.
Yeah, then DM Kaisa, or if you can wait, we're going to have a website up in the near future, datekaisa.com. We're working out those details right now. And I just want to thank everybody out there for tuning in today's really random roller coaster quick fire
ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know what just happened. I don't know. I can't really recall 3 questions
ago. I blacked out.
Yeah.
I think I answered some of them and not all of them.
Yeah.
I definitely, these are very stressful. I'm not going to lie. I am probably dripping sweat in my hands, but
I can kind of
thank
get
you.
that sense.
You get that? I'm uncomfortably laughing.
It's okay.
All right, team. I think that's about all I can handle today. Are we good?
I think we're good. That's
Okay.
it. I'm not going to put you through any more. And I want to end on a note, like, you know, a loving note like that. Like, kind of an optimistic.
Like a hopeful, I'm going to find love.
Exactly. Like that just, to me, this continues that vision of the movie that I have.
Do you think that makes me feel good though when people have said that to me for so many years and it still hasn't happened? Maybe it's just the hard straight facts of you might be the fucking single Catwoman your whole life, Kaisa. Like that might be what you are.
You just haven't found the right person.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't feel like we should wrap it up, but I don't feel like also that you're out there on the prowl. You're doing you.
No, I'm not on the
and
prowl.
You're pretty
it's probably
busy.
Part of the problem.
Yeah, so I feel like
has to hit me over the head.
Yeah, but I feel like you're just now sort of not to mention we've been in a pandemic for
that's true.
going on 3 years,
that's
which
true.
is definitely affecting
that's
dating
a little bit
life.
Of a Debbie Downer in there.
So and you're a public figure. It's a little harder than just your average, person. I can imagine.
No.
Because they'll be like, hey, can you tag me in that dinner post? They're looking for followers, Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Awkward.
Let's get out of here.
Okay, no. Okay, honestly though, thank you so much for everyone that tuned in and went along this crazy roller coaster ride with us. It was fun. There was a little bit of stressful moments, a little bit of blackout moments, but overall it was fun. I appreciate that. I also appreciate just being able to be in a space where I'm willing to be a little bit more of an open book. So thank you.
Get a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, thanks for creating that space with me.
You got it. My pleasure.
Okay, another one of my favorite memories with you is now our podcasting.
Okay.
I love this. Yeah.
Perfect.
All right, team, thank you so much for joining us here today. We'll see you back on the rectangular table very soon.
Peace.